We have a great question here from Mike asking what dollar index do we use, whether we use the ICE dollar index or whether we use the Dow Jones FXCM dollar index, also just known in short as US dollar, and any additional thoughts on this. So thanks for the question, Mike. So currently we use the normal Dixie DXY from ICE, or at least one based on the ICE version from TVC. But I have contemplated moving over to the Dow Jones FXCM one for a while now, as I do like the concept of the index. So just in a nutshell, the ICE dollar index, which goes back all the way to, I think, the 70s, is geometrically weighted based on international trade. Now, of course, this was based on international trade numbers a very long time ago. And I think that's why the creation of something like the Fed's trade-weighted dollar index was so useful, because it included a much larger basket of currencies and also included more accurate trade weightings for the various countries. But that has sadly been discontinued. So we are stuck with the ones like the DXY or the US dollar or Dow Jones index. Now, the biggest challenge for the ICE dollar index, as we said, and this is a challenge that I fully agree with, is the fact that the weightings, and more specifically, the weighting of the euro is almost at 60%, which means it's very sensitive to euro moves, oversensitive really to euro moves, and is essentially to a large part just an inverse euro chart to some extent. Now, when you compare that to the Dow Jones FXCM dollar index, what I like about it is that it's evenly weighted between the four most liquid major currencies, which is the Australian dollar, the euro, the pound, and the yen. And unlike the geometrical weighting, it's weighted using an equal split of 25% for each of those major currencies. And that means that it should be able to provide a simpler, quick take on how the dollar is doing overall against those four majors. Now, the only reason why the ICE dollar index is still so important, though, is probably more of a habit thing. It's been around so long, I think there's probably some misplaced tradition on using it. And of course, with it being on ICE, it's very broadly used and obviously closely watched by many. Now, the reason why I haven't felt too compelled, though, to change from the dollar index to the Dow Jones equally weighted index is, if you take a look at this chart, if you basically overlay them on the chart. So on this chart, you have the FXCM one, or the US dollar in short, in the candle, and you have the dollar index in the blue line. Now, yes, there are some minor differences here and there, but overall, it basically tracks each other fairly closely, right? If I saw that the two of them had very big divergences, then I would probably have both of them on the charts to watching the dollar index, because it's being watched by many, as well as the FXCM one on the side. But after seeing how closely they really tracked each other, I just haven't really seen the need to move over to the other one for now. So, I'm content on using the dollar index, but I think having the FXCM measure as an additional chart can, of course, be helpful. And I hope that has helped you with the question as well, Mike, and any others. As always, please don't hesitate to let us know.